it's Laura from Lightning Cosplay and welcome to our Halloween special. In today's video I'm going to show you how we build the mask from the Dark Lord. I've always wanted to create some kind of goat demon for Halloween because I really love the creepiness of these creatures. And as always, we did not have much time for this project and we wanted to finish it within 1 week. It was crazy, but of course we made it! So let's start with the video. Our main reference was the Dark Lord from the Netflix series The Chilling Adventures of Sabrina. This time the sculpting part was made by Ralph. Normally I really enjoy sculpting everything by hand, but we did not have much time. And since 3D modeling and printing is much faster, Ralph 3D modeled the whole head and the horns in Blender. I'm still impressed how fast he got so good in this. I don't know nothing about 3D modeling and this will always be like magic for me. After separating and printing all parts, Ralph glued them together with superglue. By the way, we always use ABS for our prints. Over the years, this turned out as our favorite filament. We also printed the ears and the horns and teeth. Next, I had to clean up the 3D print. I filled the seam lines with epoxy putty, sprayed on some layers of spray filler, and added more epoxy filler and sanded it down. I also coated the whole head with XTC 3D. This is an epoxy resin that is made for smoothing out 3D prints. It's actually a clear resin, but I like to add pigments to it so I can see where I already have applied enough resin. After I let it cure overnight, I gave the head a bright base coat before starting with the paint job. I started to darken the deeper areas. Since the 3D print doesn't have any skin texture, I tried to give it a little bit more texture with a brush. Then again I went over all the deep areas with a darker brown and added more details like wrinkles. I painted the mouth with a flesh tone and also added some of this color to the nose and the eye part. Just some more dry brushing for highlights. I also painted the ears and the horns. Then I could finally add the horns and ears to the head. And it started to look like something. I painted on some last highlights and also added more texture to it. These are the eyes I used. I bought them online from a shop in Germany who is specialized in glass eyes. I will put the link in the video description. With adding the eyes, the head finally started to come to life. This is the tongue which we printed with our Zortrex Inkspire. I painted it and added it to the mouth. The teeth were also printed with the Inkspire. Again, I'm so happy to have this printer for all the tiny parts. Adding the teeth one by one was so satisfying. And of course, they had to look dirty. I'm sure they don't have toothbrushes in hell. The giant horns were also 3D printed and glued together with ABS glue. After I cleaned up the seams, I also coated them with XTC 3D. Then I painted them and glued them to the head. And the mask was finally done. I really love how the mouth part turned out. But of course the fur was still missing. This is a beautiful black fake fur I used. It was quite difficult to find one with super long hair and I'm so happy that I found this one. The patterns you see here were made on Ralph's head with the good old duct tape method and then traced to light fabric. Wonder clips are perfect when you are working with fake fur. I sewed all parts together, but let it open on the backside of the head. Later I added some snap buttons to close it. At this point I was quite stressed and forgot to film it, but I glued the fur to the head with hot glue. The fur looked too shiny and clean, so it was time for some weathering. I like to weather fake fur with hairspray, my cat brush and a heat gun. This makes the fur look more fluffy and kind of felted. I also added some grey and white color to it. For that I used normal acrylic paint. The fur looks so much more realistic now. I wanted to add even longer fur around the head. This is a fake fur from National Fiber Technology. They make the best and also the most expensive fake fur on the market, so I only used it for some details. I glued a small strip of this fur all around the head. I also added some of this fur between the horns and also to the ears. The last step was to blend in the fur with the mask by airbrushing some dark brown and black. And this is how the fur looks like in detail. I'm so happy how the mask turned out. It is really hard to capture the details of the black fur on camera, but you have seen the close-up. We already had a photo shoot with the costume, and if you want to see the photos, make sure to follow us on Instagram. This project was just so much fun, and we are more than happy how it turned out. So we are perfectly prepared for Halloween, and we just can't wait to show you the photos from the photo shoot we made yesterday. And now I'm curious, what did you make for Halloween? Did you make a costume? What are your plans? Let me know in the comments. Well then, I wish you a happy Halloween, whatever your plans are. And then as always, don't forget to subscribe to our channel, and then hopefully see you next time. Bye bye! Too much.